Hi there, thanks for joining me for this quick overview of how to add an article to the Phoenix website. To get started, all I need to do is log in. So I'll click on the login button at the top right hand corner of the screen. And I'm going to use my usual UniSQ credentials to access the site. So I'll click on the Use My USQ ID button and I'll log in the usual way. Once you've logged in, you'll see it takes you back to the home page. You've been given creator status on the Phoenix website, which means that you can create and edit your own posts, and the editorial team will take care of editing and publishing. So to add your first post, all you need to do is look in the top left-hand corner of the screen and roll your mouse over the New button. You'll see that there's the option to add a new post. So we're going to click on the Post button. That takes us into the editing interface where we can go ahead and start creating our post. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a title. And then I'm going to choose the default editor, which is the tool that you'll be using to create all of your posts. So I'll click on that grey Use the Default Editor button. That takes us into the tool where we can start creating our content. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put my mouse on this type / to choose a block row and start typing. Okay, so we've got our first line of text, and as you can see, when your mouse is within that text, you can access these tools here to add some formatting. So I'm going to add some bold text by highlighting the text I want to make bold and clicking the B button. And then I'm also going to add some italics text by selecting the text that I want it to apply it to and clicking the I button. To add a link, all I need to do is select the text that I want to be the link and then click on this paperclip type icon. And here I can cut and paste or type in the URL that I'd like to add. So I'm going to choose one I've used before from the list. I'll then just click the submit button here at the end of that little tool block to submit the link. And there we go. I've got some bold and italic text and I've added a hyperlink. So once we've started creating our article, we probably want to add some images or some multimedia or even add some more complex formatting. To do that, all you need to do is access the block tools. So again, I've hit enter and then I've placed my text in this type / to choose a block row, and you'll see that there's a black plus symbol over on the right hand side of the editing window. So I'm going to click on that to add a block. So blocks allow us to add all sorts of different types of content to our site. I'll click Browse All so that you get a bit of a sense of how many blocks there are to choose from. It's definitely worth experimenting and exploring some of these. In this case, I'm just going to include an image. So I found the image block in the media section. I'm going to click on that to add the image interface to my post so I can go ahead and upload an image. So I'll press the blue upload button and that allows me to navigate around my computer to locate the image that I'd like to upload. So I'm just going to choose this one in this case. I'll click open and that uploads the image into the site and inserts it into my post. Once my image has been added to my post, I'll want to add some alternative text, or you might have heard it called alt text. So to do that, I'm going to select the image and then type some alternative text over here on the right hand side of the screen. Alt text is really important because it makes your content accessible to people who use adaptive technologies, so for example people who are blind or vision impaired, and also because it improves search engine optimization, so it makes your site found by more search engines so more users can locate it. So I'm going to add some text here. I'm just going to call this group photo. Okay, so I've added some text, I've added an image, I've made sure that I've added some alt text. I could also add a caption to this image. So if I select the image and then look in the toolbar here, I can choose add caption to add a caption. Don't forget to consider where the image has come from and add some some information about copyright or ownership where appropriate. Okay, so I've added a caption that describes my image and also notes where it came from. And I'm ready to continue adding content to my post. So again, I'll select that image, and just by hitting enter, it gives me another type / to choose a block row. So I can go ahead and place my cursor there and I can keep typing. So I'm just going to grab some text that I've prepared earlier. So I'll just copy that from my notepad document, and then I'm going to paste it into my post. So my article is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the content. I've added some multimedia. I'm nearly ready to submit it for review before it's published. But before I do that, there are a few extra jobs that I need to complete. The first one is adding a featured image to my post. Featured images appear on the Phoenix homepage, and they're a great way for users to get a sense of your article. So it's important to choose a featured image that's interesting and engaging and appropriate to your content. So to add the featured image to my post, I need to look over here in the right hand side of the screen and go to the Post tab, which has all the information about my post. So we can see it's called My Brilliant Article, and we can click on Set Featured Image to add a featured image. So I'm going to click that, and then same thing, I'm going to go to Upload Files to upload an image from my computer. So I'm going to choose this one. It's important to size these images appropriately, so they generally need to be sized 2 wide to 1 high, so a ratio of 2 to 1. There's some information on the Hack Hub that will provide you with extra resources on how to manage images for the site. So we'll click on Open to add that as our featured image. I'm going to add some alt text here before I set it. So again, I'm going to describe the image, and in this case, I'm also going to add the title of my article. Okay, so I've got my featured image ready to go. I've added the alt text for it. I can click the Set Featured Image button at the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so we've got our featured image set. The other thing that we need to do is make sure that we set a category for our article. So categories are really useful for creating some navigation on the Phoenix website. They also organize all of our content into categorized sections, and they're going to be really important as the site grows in allowing our users to find the content that they're interested in engaging with. So make sure that you add your post to a category. In this case, this is about a K-pop group, isn't it? So it's likely to fit under the arts and entertainment category. So I'm going to check that box. And then I think I'm pretty good to go. I've done some proofreading. I've got my images sorted out. I've added my featured image. I've added a category. All I need to do now is go to the top of the screen and click Submit for Review. So I'll click that. It gives me a prompt just to ask me if I've completed all of the tasks. I'm happy that I have, so I can press Submit for Review for a second time. And you'll see it's saving the article ready to go, and it's popped up a View Preview button here on the bottom left of the screen. So I'm going to click on that to go and have a look at what my article is going to look like when it's published on the site. So there you go. You can see my article, the date that it was published, the category that it sits under, my content, my image, and even a space for users to add comments. So that's it. That's how you create an article for the Phoenix. There's a few other useful things that are worth knowing. For example, if you preview your article and you suddenly realize, oh no, I've missed a spelling mistake or I've forgotten to add something to my post, all you need to do to edit your post from here is go up to the top of the screen again and look for the Edit Post button. So I can click on Edit Post, and that will take me back to the site where I can add the text that I've realized is missing. Okay, so I've added my text and I'm going to click Submit for Review. That saves the article again, and then I can click View Preview down on the bottom left hand corner again to view the article, and we can see now that I've added my change. As well as that, it's useful to check out the dashboard on the Phoenix site. To access the dashboard, I'm just going to go up to the menu on the top of the screen again, on the top left, and I'm going to roll over the Phoenix and choose Dashboard. So the dashboard is the the place where you'll find all the tools that you've got access to for editing and contributing to the site. And you'll see that there's a list of tools over here on the left-hand side. To see all the posts that you've contributed to the site, for example, you can click on the post button or roll your mouse over the post button and then click on all posts. That'll give you a list of all of your contributions, and you can even go in and edit them from here. So if I roll my mouse over the title of my article, I can click edit to go and edit it. To get back to the Phoenix homepage, all I need to do is go up here and roll my mouse over the Phoenix again, and I can select visit site to get back to the homepage. So that's it. That's a quick overview of how to create your first article on the Phoenix website. Please do visit the Hack Hub, which has a whole bunch of resources that will be useful for you as you learn to use and contribute to the site. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your first article.